Hey there everyone. Wanted to do another Metaverse tutorial today. Today we're going to do inventory, using some inventory blocks to make your sick game even better. So to start out, we're going to go add new, and the first one we're going to do is give item. So with all these, you can give an item to your player, remove one, make sure they have an item before they proceed, and just a lot of stuff. So to start out here, we're going to say hello player. Not player. Hello, young one. Do you want an item from me? So add an action here, and I sure do want an item. Okay. And select character, go to all characters, or use old man. Okay. Now click on here, go to transition to block, and give item. So now this button will go to here, which gives an item. And if you want to make a new item, you go up here to the top left, click on items, and create new item. So you type the name in here, blah, 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 whatever it is, upload image, choose your image, and then in-app item you put a description and tag. But I already have a bow and a sword here. I just went to the internet and got these. So let's go back into our app. So when you go to the give item, you're gonna want to hit find, and it should take you to the list of your items. So sure, I want a sword. Click on it and hit add item. So now it'll give you this item when you hit this button. So after it gives you the item, you're going to want to transition to another scene, new scene, and say, here, have a sword. Thank you. Now go and fight the enemy. It's very generic here, but now we're going to transition to scene and go to scene 2. So now it goes to here. Now let's have one that says go and travel to the monster, or if you want to make the position of these different, you click on this and move down, or screw you, old man. I'm not fighting any monster. Alright, now you tell him off. You say, I'm not fighting that monster. So you hit, now when you say that, we're going to have him get rid of your sword. So, screw you, old man, I'm not fighting any monster. Click on here, remove item, and remove this sword. So now, when you click on this, you got to make sure to click on the button, transition to block, remove item. So now to remove this item, and after that, we want to transition to scene, new scene, character scene. Fine then. I guess you'll be on your way then. Now you're getting a little bit upset. So transition to scene, scene 3. Okay. And we're gonna have this end the game. So now you just lost your sword and you end the game. Whoop-de-doo. But now if you want to go and travel to the monster, you'll say, hold on, let's see. We're gonna have an inventory and it says if it has an item, has number of items. Okay, let's just try this one. So if it'll go and travel to the monster, now you go to here, turn just the block, has number of items. So this will check how many of an item you have. So let's see, we want to have, this is the item we have, and we say we want to have 2 swords. So if we have enough, okay. So now that we have here item and then here 2, so if he has enough, transition to here, and great, you have 2 swords. Now you can go. But if he doesn't have enough 2 swords, then which we shouldn't, so transition to scene. I must have forgot. Here, have another sword. Add action. Thank you. Okay. Oops. Okay, this is getting a little bit messy. We're gonna take all these away. I'll explain this at the end. So has number of items. So if he has 2 swords, which you shouldn't, it'll go to here. But since we only have 1 sword, it'll go to here. So it does not have enough. Transfer to scene 5. And this button will transfer to a block, new block, inventory, and it'll give us an item. And this is going to give us another sword. So add item. This thing will go to give item. So this will give us another sword. And then after it gives us the sword, let's make it go back to scene 2. So now to go back to scene 2, and here have a sword, thank you. Well, the text won't really matter, but you can make it better if you actually make it in a game. But it'll go back to scene 2, and now you go to travel to monster, and it'll check if you have 2 swords, which you will because you just got one here, and it'll say, oh, you have 2 swords, now you can go. Now, we're going to, let's see, we did not do this one. Check if a user has an item. So this one is like the same as this one, has number of items, in the sense that it'll just check if you have 1 item. So it'll say if you don't have a bow, then you can't go, or something like that. This one says if you don't have 2 bows, then you can't go, something like that. So if you want to do a simpler version of this, just use this one. But since now we have 2 swords, then we can go and slay the boss. And this will end the experience. So that's basically the simplest use of items you can do. When you're using an actual game, it can be used to do multiple things. So let's go to the phone.
Alright guys, we're on the app now. Before we get started and look at the app, I want to show you guys something. I have 14 swords right now, so I'm not sure how to get rid of these, so you could like test your app. That might be coming later, but so when it does the check of, oh, do you have 2 swords or not, I obviously have more than 2 swords, so on the studio I changed it to the user must have 16 swords before you can go. It's a lot of swords. But so now if you go into the app, it should say, so hello, I want an item. So he gives me I'll have 15 swords. So when I say go and travel to the monster, I won't have enough yet. So he'll say, I must have forgot, here, have another sword. So he gives me another sword, and I'm at 16 now. So if I hit go and travel, I'll be at 16. So we can go ahead now, and we can go and slay the boss. And if we hit test on device again, hello, yep, 16 sword, now we gotta screw you, get rid of our sword in the app. And I'm not sure if this removes it from your inventory, but it removes it in the app, so you might have to get it again. So, okay, I removed it, I'll go up here and end experience. Okay, and that should be it.